So what does Ukraine think about Putin's willingness to negotiate, and particularly with the US, and of course the conditions that he's imposing on that? I reckon I could hazard a guess, but let's head now to Kiev and ask them directly. Yuriy, defence advisor, so good to see you again. Is Putin serious here?
Hi, Erin. It's good to be back on your program. And thank you very much again for a very accurate account of the madness that goes behind these thoughts about Kremlin's willingness to negotiate. Now, they are losing on the battlefield. They have not gained anything in the last 9 months considerably. Moreover, in the past couple of weeks, they continued to lose the temporarily occupied territories. Russian soldiers have been dying on the battlefield. You know, on average, they're getting killed 500 soldiers a day. We've destroyed now over 90,000 of Russian soldiers. The partial mobilization that they held didn't actually give them any additional strength on the battlefield, because the newly mobilized, the so-called Mobiks, they arrive on the battlefield poorly prepared, poorly armed, and as a result, they die in batches. Just an example, right now, the most fierce battles are going on around the city of Bakhmut in the Donetsk region, and this has been going on now for weeks. And again, Russians are unable to, you know, they were planning to take Ukraine in 3 days. They're spending thousands of their soldiers literally as cannon fodder, and they are unable to gain control over like small cities. And Bakhmut is just a small city, right? It doesn't actually have any strategic importance. So when it comes to negotiations, there are two things that I would like to stress. Now, first of all, of course, no negotiations about the future of Ukraine are possible without Ukraine. Now, that is something that everybody understands. We're a sovereign country, and we will determine and decide, you know, the moment when we are ready to negotiate. And we have a plan, okay? So we are not saying that negotiations are not possible. What we are saying is that there are certain non-negotiable preconditions that have to be met before we can consider these negotiations. And they include, first of all, the complete withdrawal of Russian troops from our land, paying reparations for the damage done, and of course, bringing to justice all those war criminals who have been committing these war crimes and atrocities, including those who have been ordering these war crimes and atrocities. So we are a peaceful nation. We want to end this war, but there are certain things that have, you know, everybody has to be realistic. So it's our sovereign right. We're ready to negotiate after these preconditions are met.
Can I ask you, Yuriy, on the Russians targeting energy infrastructure and the fact they say that is military in terms of its target? You say that they are war crimes. How many Ukrainians are without power now, heading into what is expected to be a pretty harsh winter?
It is difficult to say the exact amount of people who are currently experiencing the emergency power cuts on a daily basis and pretty much blackouts. But of course, the damage that the Russians have done to Ukraine through their missile terror and targeting civilian energy infrastructure is very considerable. Our government is doing everything they can to restore, but on average, we're now up to 70% at full capacity, which means that we're still, you know, lacking a lot of energy and electricity that we need. We are, on the other hand, ready for this winter. This will not break our will. We will continue our counteroffensive. We will continue our fight. And of course, we will continue to rely on our international partners when it comes to military support.
What your people are doing, and just quickly, finally, is extraordinary. What you in the government, your leadership are doing blows my mind. How are you still functioning? I know you don't have a choice, but are you exhausted?
I'll tell you, if you will allow me, I will answer you this question in the following way. Right now, in the Ukrainian army, there are 50,000 women. Now, 5,000 of these women are fighting actually on the zero line, on the front lines. Yesterday, one of such women, Andriana Susak, she's a brave hero. She exploded when she was driving on her 4x4. She was blown up by a mine. Now, the reason why this is happening, and every time we see these reports, this only gives us motivation and determination. But I would like to use this opportunity to again thank the Australian government and the Australian people for supporting us. And the mine blast and now doctors are fighting for the life of Andriana. She's in a very heavy, difficult condition. Now, the reason she was so badly injured is because our military are most of the time, driving in ordinary trucks, ordinary 4x4s that are given to them by Ukrainian people and volunteers. So what I'm trying to say is that we love the Bushmasters. I will repeat myself, but the Hawkeyes with their amazing mine blast protection are some things that we really need, and we would be very grateful if your government would consider sending us these armored vehicles.
Well, you're on the right network for the kind of people that watch that could potentially help you, and I'm sure they will hear that and we will bring it to their attention. Yuriy, thank you so much again, and Merry Christmas sounds really silly, but thinking of you all.
Tough Christmas. This will be a Christmas of resilience for us. Resilient Christmas.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.